another episode on Small Talk by Impra Tea. Today, we're going to dive into the romance side of the tea. Because I believe tea is something that woven into our day-to-day life, specifically in Sri Lankans and South Asians. And that is so close to our heart. With me, Ruzaina.
Hi.
Hi, Ruzaina. What do you think about the tea and the romance?
Tea has a lot to do with romance, especially in Sri Lanka and around the world. But when it comes to Sri Lanka, tea takes a very center stage when it comes to romance, love, marriage, family.
Oh, of course, yes. It starts from a day-to-day early morning, right?
Correct.
Specifically, Sri Lankan has a tendency to wake up to the tea,
Yes.
and then, start with family. Basically, wakes up to the tea.
Correct,
Right?
correct.
So, you're a hard-earned tea person, I believe?
I am a tea person.
Okay.
I am born and bred tea person. My family are tea people.
Okay.
I think mostly Sri Lankans are very much into tea. Like we wake up with tea, as you said,
Yeah.
our life begins with tea. We are known for tea more than coffee. We do have coffee in Sri Lanka, but we are more known for tea. And our tea is loved by many people across the globe. So we are tea people.
Of course, and then I have seen even in Turkish tradition. I think the when you a bride sees the groom the first time,
Yeah.
I've heard they actually spill the tea to say that I like the groom. Because,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so
That is such an interesting take
I know.
on
So
tea.
it's like I don't say it by words,
Yeah.
but I say it
But
by action subtly.
say it by tea.
Say it by tea.
A tea spill.
Tea spills. So,
Yeah.
for me, I'm also a tea person.
Okay.
I like the tea in the morning.
Okay.
But, I definitely need sugar with my tea. I don't know how about you,
Right.
but I need a sugar dose.
Okay.
But generally, I haven't really navigated into tea much.
Oh,
So probably I
okay.
was thinking that you can, enlighten me with little tricks and
Of
sorts and
course.
how to make it interesting, because I always felt that we could explore more with tea, but I have not much. Have you?
Well, I personally like tea, so I've
Okay.
explored so many flavors
Okay.
when it comes to tea. Then I love using tea in my food as well.
How?
Because you can infuse the tea smell into certain
Oh.
dishes and certain desserts.
Okay.
So I love that aspect of it. I'm not much of a big dessert person, but when someone says there's tea involved,
So you basically brew the tea and mix it with
correct.
this?
So it's done across the world.
Okay.
Like the Japanese use Japanese green tea, and they make a beautiful jelly with it, right? And the
Oh.
Turkish people also use a little tea, and they make like a milk tea custard. So there's so many kind of tea infused desserts that I really
Do we
love.
have it in Sri Lanka? I'm out of curiosity.
We don't in a traditional sense, but
Okay.
I've seen a lot of modern tea connoisseurs make
Okay.
these sort of
Tea
desserts.
desserts.
Yes, and they can use it in chocolates and puddings.
Yeah,
and
why not, right? Coffee,
Correct.
tiramisu, we speak about coffee in this.
Yeah.
Why
So
not
we
tea?
Exactly. And plus you can also smoke tea
Okay.
and infuse that flavor into meat items, and
Okay.
that's very professional level
Like a high-end,
cooking. Correct. But then it's for people who really love tea, because it has a very distinct aroma.
Okay.
So if you really like tea, like I do, you
Okay.
enjoy that kind of.
Let's bring it on. Let's see how it works. What are we going to do today?
Okay, so I'm going to show very few recipes when it comes to tea.
Okay.
Something that you can impress your loved ones with.
Okay.
So maybe you can add it to the romance factor
On
of
the
it.
tea, okay.
Because tea is considered a very romantic thing even
Okay.
in Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
right? Have you heard this tradition where when you go to a family, especially if it's a proposal, yeah, the brides go, the grooms come, and then they taste the tea in the house.
Yeah.
And the mother of the daughter would say, my daughter made the tea.
Even though she didn't make it,
Even
they'll say,
though she
right?
didn't-
For
she didn't
lies.
make it, yeah, for lies, they'll say, my daughter made the tea. Then they'll taste it, and usually they have that tea, and they check
so,
if the tea
so
is
basically
good.
that's sort of a marriage tradition,
Yeah, it is a tradition. It's an unspoken tradition where they check the tea. There's so much that we can talk about it. Let's get into making the tea first. So Impra has a lot of flavors. As you can see, there's a lot of flavors even behind us. They have an array of tea flavors.
They have a lot.
Yes, but then I'm going to be using the rose tea strong flavor.
Okay.
It's a really, really beautiful smell.
Okay.
Even before it gets brewed, it's really nice.
Oh my God, that's like a
Perfume.
Perfume.
Yes.
Rose perfume.
Love it. Like, so that's the thing. If you really love this flavor, which
Okay.
I do, and then even if you don't, even if you think like it's like a perfume smell, there's a way to like subtly handle it.
Generally, I'm not a flowery person, but if it's a flower, I prefer rose.
Okay.
So I think
But it's really strong, right? It's
it
almost
is.
like a soap.
First, the rose flavor, hits you first.
It smells like a soap perfume, like
It's a perfumey.
correct. But then it doesn't. It's not like that. Once you brew it, it's subtle. Like
Okay.
it
settles
settles down.
in.
Correct. Just basically put it in. I'm not going to put 2 tea bags.
Okay, you're going to make a hot brew?
Correct. A hot
Okay.
brew. I'll just move this here.
Okay.
A hot brew, and then. Ooh, it's heavy. Okay. So when you're making tea, the correct way is you're supposed to keep it at least 2 to 3 minutes steeping time.
Okay.
So what I
2
do
to
is
3 minutes.
Yes, what I do is I like to make the tea and I cover it.
Okay.
So that the aroma really infuses in the water.
Okay.
Yeah, so let it brew like that.
All right. So, I mean, in terms of, in terms of if it's with, the famous question, if I want to drink a milk tea,
Yeah.
like chicken comes first or the egg comes first? Milk comes first or the tea comes first?
So the correct way of doing it is sugar, milk, and then tea.
Sugar,
so you have
milk,
to
and
brew
tea.
the tea separately
Okay.
in a separate
Pot.
container
Okay.
or glass. And then you put your sugar and cream in your cup, and then you add your tea.
So that's then sugar, cream, and then the tea.
Correct. So it's sugar, milk,
and tea. But in coffee, it's different.
Coffee is different. So it's sugar, coffee, and then you add the creamer.
Right? Done something. Okay, right. Is there any science behind it, or is it the blends comes with?
According to tea connoisseurs, it's better to brew the tea separately,
Okay.
do the sugar and cream like milk separately.
Because I've seen some
and then-
recipes like they boil everything together. They put the milk, they
Correct.
put the.
So those are the spice teas.
Oh, so you put the tea
Yeah. So
inside
you-
the milk and then you boil
Correct.
together.
So you can do that as well because then it brews. You have to allow because then you are boiling. It's the heat is
The key. So in this kind of teas,
Yeah.
you have to boil it separately. But is it a normal black tea? If you take, can I do that with the milk? If we are to
No,
mix
you
it?
have to again brew the
Brew it
tea
separately,
Then
okay.
only the aroma gets into the water, right?
Right.
So it has to brew well. It has to steep
It's
well.
like a chemistry.
Correct. It is chemistry.
Okay.
The whole art of tea is like very, very. Like you said, it's chemistry with life.
Yeah.
Like, because people, like when you get up, as soon as you wake up, you need your
the
tea.
If not, you
Yeah.
like
You're having a bad
lost-
day, have a tea. Have you lost your job? Have a tea. You have a problem? Let's have a tea. You know?
Nowadays, more than the coffee days, I know Sri Lanka is famous for tea.
Yeah.
But it's the dates of the coffee dates we say. But now I think the trend is a more chai, tea.
Correct.
That kind of trend
Correct.
is coming in. But I always feel we should have more capitalized more on tea and tea varieties than the coffee. It's because
Right.
we have tea
Yeah,
a lot, but we are yet
exactly.
to explore more. I would say.
Exactly. But back in the day, we were only drinking tea, right? We
Yeah,
were tea
exactly.
people.
Then the
Yeah, but the modern day generation, like you said, but then there's bubble tea. So
Yes,
that
of
is-
course, yeah,
that is
you're
very-
right,
that
you're
is
right.
very famous.
You're right.
So people the newer generation have found ways to enjoy their tea.
agreed.
Okay.
All right, it's been like 2 minutes.
Yeah, and you can see that it's steeping really
Yeah.
well. So it's really dark, and that's what we want. So you can just
So some people say, no, I want a lighter tea, darker tea. The tastes.
correct. So, but when it comes to like flavored tea, you really don't need to make it very dark because
Okay.
unless you're adding milk to it.
Oh, so then it dilutes the color.
Correct. So I'm going to be adding a little sugar.
Okay.
How much of sugar do you take?
2 minimum.
2 minimum. Okay.
That's sufficient. Let's try with this now. Okay.
Now for this, you can add.
I really don't know how do you drink tea without sugar, Ruzaina.
I love tea without sugar because
I
it
don't know.
gives the flavor of the tea, and I
Okay.
enjoy that.
Okay. Not judging.
Then we can add a little lemon to this. So I'll be doing another iced tea recipe version in the same way.
Okay.
But the hot tea version is also really, really nice.
Okay.
So first let me give you the taste of this tea.
Sure.
And let's see whether you like it.
So I mean, my mom used to give me like we have a tummy ache or some upset stomach from a food. Generally, a black tea with lime, a splash of lime.
Correct.
That settles sort of it's like a medicinal thing,
so
right?
So this kind of thing, it gets you into a good mood, especially when it's a floral tea, and especially when it's like really nice, like this Impra.
Chamomile is something supposed to be calm you down or something?
Correct. So even rose tea, gets you into that really nice romantic mood.
Okay.
Maybe you can love yourself as well, like if you don't have anyone.
Of course. I mean, even if you have someone, I think the first thing is to love yourself.
Correct.
If you don't do that, you can't love anyone else.
Exactly.
Of course, I'm a firm believer of that.
Exactly. So this kind of gets you into a nice mood.
Okay.
It's just that, and then...
Oh, I can see, I mean, it's like, what, 5 meters away and I still
get the aroma. So sorry.
Thanks. Okay, let me try.
I hope there's enough sugar.
No, 2, no? Okay, it's nice. Let me try. Oh my God. That's nice. That's so nice.
Enough sugar for you?
Yeah. I think
I'm glad.
It's okay.
No, but then it's like rose, but it's not too strong.
I don't know how to say that. It's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice.
It's very
calm. Yeah, refreshing, calm.
Refreshing and calm.
I think I've tried jasmine tea sometime. Okay. I mean, sometime before.
Yeah.
I think this is probably one of the best, I would say.
Thank you so much. I think we have to thank Impra.
Yeah, of course.
Because if the tea is not good, no matter what you do, it's not that great.
So this is kind of a sort of a mocktail version, right?
You can make the mocktail version. So I'll make that in a few minutes.
Okay. So this is itself is a mini version of it, but it's yum. Thank you.
Right. No, a lot of people don't know about the rose and lemon combination. They just know that you can have rose separately, but not rose and lemon. It's very rare.
Yeah, it is very rare.
Yes, but I personally prefer rose and lemon.
Rose and lemon. Okay. So
but I learned it in Azerbaijan actually.
Really?
Yes, they have rose and lemon tea, and they offer it for their partners.
Okay.
So when they like someone, it doesn't have to be a partner of interest like that. Like let's say your friends.
Okay.
And
if you like them.
Yeah, when you go visit their house, they give you rose and lemon tea if they like you. Like as a friend.
That's like a sort of a hint that I am happy to be acquainted with you. Something like that?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
So for me, this was offered by an auntie.
Aww.
Yeah, who has seen my videos and stuff like that. And then they invited me to their house and they gave me
such a nice gesture. Okay.
So they gave me this and they're like, it's so nice to meet you. And, and that's where I had... They actually put rose petals
on top of it.
On top of it. Actually, shall we just...
Yes, why not?
Just try. Oh, wait, I washed and kept it.
This one.
Now, this is fresh roses.
Yeah.
They have dry roses. You can use dry roses as well.
I've seen that.
Yeah, so they put a slice of lemon.
Okay.
And
that was inside to infuse.
Yes,
okay.
And infuse, and that's how they offer it.
Oh. That's so pretty.
Yes, it is pretty. And then
so should I leave it to infuse it? Or?
No, they just put it for decoration purposes, but it does add a little bit of aroma.
But should I let it sit?
Now you can let it sit if you like, but for me they just added it.
Yeah, it had a pop into it.
Correct. It gives you a pop of fragrance.
Indeed, I'm not saying for words, but it does.
It gives you a pop of fragrance. So you can add a slice of lemon, and it's really pretty as well. See. Now, in Azerbaijan, they have those really yellow lemons.
Okay. So the colors pops out.
Correct. The color also pops out. But we have this green one. It will look nice as well. See?
I don't know. I was thinking of it. I remembered a recent joke I saw. Oh, that's pretty. 3 reasons for you to give green tea to your visitors.
Okay.
Number 1.
Yeah.
It's sugar on it. You don't need sugar for that.
Right.
Cost effective.
Yeah.
And the majority of the Sri Lankans
Yeah.
prefer milk tea. So if you give a green tea, they'll be like, won't ask anything else.
Yeah.
And the third reason, the relatives won't come back to your house again.
That's a good one. Actually, it's very cost effective. Like even my grandmother, when she gets lazy, she's like, when she's supposed to make the tea.
Okay.
Because if the help or someone else is making tea, she's like, okay, she wants milk tea.
Okay.
She wants a proper strong tea with milk.
Yeah.
But if she's going to make it, she's like, shall we have green
tea? See, I'm right.
Because it's good for digestion.
So after that, no one will ask again.
Yeah,
no one will come
exactly.
again.
Exactly.
All right, what's next?
So next is also a very, very simple kind of tea. But it's very refreshing, especially for hot season and like, because tea, when you drink hot tea, it actually, it's hot and then it cools your body. Yeah, so that's what it does. Whereas coffee, it doesn't really cool your body. It gives you that energy.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's why tea is always refreshing. That's why people always drink tea in Sri Lanka, because it's so hot and sweaty.
Yeah.
So like when you drink tea, it's warm and then it cools you.
I have heard Turkish people
Yeah.
on average some 1,300 teas, cups, 1,300 tea cups per year they drink.
So correct. So that they
Because of
also
the hot-
have So they also very like it gets really hot in Turkey. So they have like a mint tea, a lot of sugar, mint, and tea.
Oh my God,
strong
my
tea.
type.
So they just have tea the whole day for like it gives you energy. It gives you like a refreshing feeling. So that's why they have so many cups of tea. But I'm sure even Sri Lankans have a lot
I'm sure.
of tea.
Like I myself, like my mom, of course, have like minimum 3, maximum 4 per day.
My grandmother, when she wakes up, she has tea. Then just after making breakfast, she has a cup of tea before she has breakfast.
Okay.
Then after cooking lunch, before we eat lunch, like we are all hungry, she'll be like, no, I have to have my tea. So she'll sit and she'll have her tea before she has her lunch. Then she'll have her tea
it's like
after lunch.
appetizer also it works.
It's an aperitif and an appetizer and everything.
Oh, wow.
So for people who really like tea, they
That's
really have
like tea. Okay.
Then she has tea in the afternoon, like in the evening time, the usual time.
Usual 3 to 4.
Then even after dinner, she has a cup of tea. So it's like tea the whole day.
It's almost 6 times there.
Correct.
Yeah, I can imagine. They should take a stock count on Sri Lankan average persons.
Exactly.
Okay, what do we have here?
So now we're going to use the Impra black tea raspberry flavor.
Oh, wow. Okay. Raspberry.
Yes. So
It's like a subtle hint of.
subtle hint. So
I haven't tried this. I haven't.
So usually you can tell if it's fruit flavored because when it's overpowering. Now rose, we know that rose gives a perfume flavor.
Correct.
But when it comes to fruit teas, if it's overpowering, that means they've added flavor.
Oh, that's how it works.
That's how it is. Like they've added flavor. Then you know it's not that great. Like
So this is like a subtle. You can't even.
Correct.
I can say a raspberry hint is there, but the tea comes first. For
correct. So because a fruit, if you cut a fruit like a raspberry, especially raspberry and strawberry, it has a very subtle smell.
Yes,
it doesn't have like a strong overpowering
No, it does
smell.
not.
So
this is
very
good.
good.
Okay. That's how you identify the tea.
It's very
Have
good.
you done tea tastings before?
Correct. I have done.
You
people,
have?
yes.
No wonder. Now, I've always wondered, Ruzaina,
Yeah.
what does a tea tasting encompasses? What do you do? Always thought it's the coolest job. Is it a coolest job or the hardest job?
I've not worked as a tea taster. I've been to a tea tasting session.
Okay.
So like they have like couple of flavors of tea and they give you like so each tea has its own elements. It's like a wine tasting, I would say. Like a lot of people people who are really into tea, they know the flavors and the palate.
So you will cleanse your palate and go to the next one.
Correct. So there's like a crispness to it. Some teas are sharp, some teas are strong, some teas are thin, some teas are thick when you make it. I really don't know the correct terminology.
Okay.
But for me personally, when I drink certain teas, like certain green teas are very thin and crisp.
Okay.
But certain other teas like this rose tea, it's like a more thick in my palate and like I can
when you say
feel
thick, is it the
very
flavor
syrupy and flavor. Yeah, so I can feel that kind of thing when it comes to tea.
So then probably a tea taster job is I've heard. Basically you have to know the the worldwide the preferences of tea.
Correct. So they are
sometimes for me this is yum. For another person, maybe not. Your palate is different.
Right.
Probably a person from China or Africa, probably their palates are different. They basically have to adapt to their taste if you are exporting or to that tea. Probably, I mean, I don't know. That's the most hardest job for me.
No, but then a tea taster, they are very, very professional. They know
I've
exactly.
heard.
So they've been drinking tea for years, or they've been trained in tea tasting.
That the tongue is trained for that to identify different palates, I guess.
So again, we're going to steep this for about 2 minutes, and then let it So for this, now raspberry is also a fruit.
Okay.
Now personally I love adding citrus elements to teas.
Teas, okay,
or anything which is, especially in a hot country like ours, when you add a citrus element, it gives you that really refreshing flavor.
Right.
So we did the rose and lemon. So we're going to do raspberry and orange.
That goes well?
That goes very well.
Let's try that.
They're both raspberry is also not very sweet. No, it has a very tangy flavor.
Yeah, correct.
So when we are going to add sugar.
Okay. Because I prefer strawberry over raspberry. Generally, but let me try that.
Why do you prefer strawberry over raspberry? They are both similar fruits.
Similar, but I have this hint of a sweetness in a strawberry.
Right.
Hint
so
of a sweetness.
This is more tangy.
I'm a sweet person, so I need everything sweet. So probably that,
is. But even for raspberry, even though it's tangy, like when you add a nice level of honey or sugar. Now for this in particular, we can add honey or sugar.
Okay.
Honey would be really great.
Okay.
But we can add sugar.
I've heard that good for the cough and.
Yes. So this one. Now for this tea, you can also add cinnamon, a little bit of a stick of cinnamon, raspberry, and orange. All three goes as well.
Wow. Okay.
So you should understand the flavor profile, then you can really
mix and match
and really enjoy tea.
Yeah, I know. I've started to learn certain things.
Our home, we do so many kinds of teas, especially when guests come. We have variations of teas at our house, with my grandmother especially. And so everybody kind of gets excited also to come to our place and what do you have now? What do you have today?
Itself like a sort of a tea party.
Correct. So when you can understand the flavor profile, you can really, really entertain your guests, entertain your loved ones.
It's actually a simple way of doing it also. No? You don't have to do flashy tea parties
now see something like lime, you don't have to have the rose petals.
Yeah, but the simple things at home, you can make these things.
If you have the rose tea, you can add the lime and then offer your guests.
True that. Yeah, because obviously that's the whole purpose of a rose tea, right? All right.
Okay, so now we can add sugar. 2.
All right.
Can add this.
Question. Now you are putting the lime, orange. Why don't we infuse that as a juice instead of a fruit?
We can do this. So when you're making a mocktail, you can brew the tea separately and use a little bit of orange.
So that becomes a mocktail there.
Yeah, so you can use orange liqueur, orange like a juice.
So the flavor is a bit more thicker there.
Correct. So then it's stronger. So and then you add the tea, and then you can do that as well and make a mocktail.
Right. So this is a more cleaner version of a tea, and that's a mocktail version.
And then before you add the orange, you just twist it so that all the flavor gets in there. And then you add that.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, my hands are wet. That's how I would offer it to you.
All right. Again, the citrus comes in.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's completely different to this now. It's still, of course, that's different.
Yeah.
Here, again, the subtle flavor of raspberry is there.
Yeah. That happens when it's a good tea. Now, when it's a flavor added to the raspberry, you'll get a very unpleasant taste. So that's why, brands like Impra, you have to it's a very good brand. So that's why you can really taste
the tea and then the
it's
subtle
not
hint.
it's not unpleasant.
No, it's not unpleasant. I mean,
Correct.
for a person like
Who
me,
doesn't like raspberry?
Yeah, exactly. And also
Yeah.
who is not adventurous with tea,
Yeah.
this is adventure for me.
Yes.
It's so nice.
No, it is adventurous even for a tea drinker because it's exciting to add flavors like this, and especially just imagine you're bringing your guests and you do something so small.
It's such a nice
And
surprise.
correct. And when you offer it, now at our place we have rose tea, right? So we can we just add a slice of lime and we offer it, and people are like so surprised by it. They're like, oh my God, what
How do you
is
do that?
this? Yeah, how is it so nice?
Okay.
Even people who don't like plain tea prefers this.
This way.
Correct. So it's
But
like
this is more than the tea, right?
Yes.
It's like a sort of a romance into it.
correct. And you have taken that love and care and attention
make that to it.
to add that little bit of extra attention, extra love, and offer it to your loved
Amazing.
ones.
I never thought in that angle actually. Okay, lovely. What do we have next?
So next we'll make the iced tea. Now that
Okay.
is really exciting but I'm again going to be using the rose tea.
Okay.
I love rose tea.
You do love rose tea.
But we'll be using the rose black tea plus the rose.
What's the difference?
So this has more tea in it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this has more tea and then a little
Roast
bit of
flavored.
yeah.
Okay.
So this
again,
is more
strong flavor.
strong rose flavor.
So why do you mix both? Why can't you have?
Because I want a little bit of extra strong black tea flavor.
So you want a thicker version of it.
I want black tea, strong tea, plus
still you want the flavor.
Flavor rose.
But won't it make it too overpowering?
No,
or-
not because when you add ice, it dilutes.
Oh, what do you mean add ice? Don't you make it with ice?
No, so when you're adding
Okay.
the ice to
Okay.
the tea, it dilutes the strong flavors.
So you're going to brew the hot tea
and then add the ice. That's how you should do it.
Oh, so
Yeah.
generally you should not put it to the
Cold water.
directly. Can you infuse that with?
Unless you have like a cold press machine
Yeah.
or a cold brew machine, I personally would advise to brew the tea in hot water because
Okay.
then it gets infused correctly.
Fine. Okay.
Right.
And
And,
then
then you
add
add
the-
the ice.
Ice cubes directly.
Correct, ice
so then,
cubes.
if you want it to be like the cold ice, I
Yeah.
have seen certain brands have this iced tea in a bottle, right? Sometimes. So how they also do the similar way, or the cold press machine sometimes handle those.
No, I think they brewed the tea and then made it into a liquid, right?
So that's a process needs
There's
to
a
happen.
process that needs to happen
Okay.
there. So we're going to be making the iced tea now.
Okay.
So I have already brewed the tea here.
Can I open it?
Yes, you can open it. See? So there's a lot of tea
Oh my
bags
god, you
used.
used like but 4 or 5 tea bags.
Yeah, so the idea behind it is to make it really thick and syrupy.
So won't it be like bittery?
No, because you can add sugar, honey,
Ah.
and make it sweet the way you want.
So if I do the same with the black tea, it will be bitter.
No, black tea also you have to make it really thick,
Okay.
but you can like balance it out
With the milk?
with the milk and all that. But
Okay.
the tea has to be very strong.
Oh.
So one tea bag is not enough. You have to use at least
So when you
about
go to
5.
these sometimes restaurants, they give iced teas or something. I have seen like maybe one they put the tea
Yeah,
bag.
that is why it's not good.
No wonder because it's that has that very pale palette.
So now I've used like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've used like 3 of the Impra black
Okay.
tea rose flavored and
Okay.
about 2 of the extra
Just to
rose
mix
flavor.
that.
Correct. No,
okay.
just to get that extra flavor. So you can mix teas.
I'm just thinking like you can mix like on the jasmine over there, rose
Yes,
over
you can
there.
you can mix the jasmine with a normal black tea if you want that, or you can use
but
the.
you need to know what to pair.
Correct. So
Okay.
the pairing has to be. So you have to know what you should be pairing with.
What goes well with what? I need to know that.
So
okay.
jasmine will go like with black tea, or you can use jasmine and orange.
Okay.
Like if you really like go through it.
Basically experiment it and see.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can experiment as well. So now it's nicely brewing here.
Oh.
It's nice and thick.
So again 1 to 3 minutes sufficient?
Correct. About 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
I usually keep it like 3 minutes for a normal tea. But
wow.
yeah,
What I do,
because I like it strong.
I do is in the morning, if I am making it
Yeah.
out of a tea bag,
Okay.
I need minimum 2 tea bags.
Right.
And then with milk. But if I'm going to do for a plain tea,
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Oh wow.
That's all I keep. I mean, so is it bad or is it like my palate is that? I mean,
No, it depends on your palate. No,
Yeah.
like if that's what you like, then that's what you like. You can't like really change that.
Yeah.
But I prefer like
A stronger version of it.
Stronger version of it.
oh,
So now you can see the
tea
tea is
bag.
very strong inside.
No, I've learned this somewhere. I think it's one of the invention of tea.
Yeah.
One Chinese emperor was boiling a hot water,
Yeah.
and he blew some tea leaf into it.
Okay.
Accidentally.
Okay.
And then he tasted it, and it was the tea. So that's the
Oh my
origin
gosh!
of tea.
I didn't know that.
That's
but I
one
know
ex-
that it originated in China.
Yes, that's one accident.
Okay.
And the tea bag is also another accident.
Oh,
Apparently,
right.
a person who wants to, he was exporting tea,
Okay.
Western, from the Western country. We were exporting tea.
Right.
And then what happened was, they didn't have, like, they had to export the tea, so they
Yeah.
wanted to basically pack it in little silk pouches.
Okay.
So because they have easy packaging.
Yeah.
The people who got the tea thought, okay, this is how you need to drink, and they put that into the hot water.
Right.
Hence,
The
tea
tea
bags.
bag-
were
tea
born.
bags.
So
Oh, that's
all accidents. Like,
All
From the
accidents.
tea to the tea bags, accidents.
Happy accident.
Happy accidents.
I've added a lot of sugar
I can
here.
see that. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
So you can add honey, agave syrup, even kitul penny if you use if you
I
want
have
to.
tried honey
Yeah.
because I do voiceovers. Sometimes
Right.
I need the voice to be
Okay.
you
so
know,
then tea, honey
and
lemon. Yeah.
So I like the ginger
Correct.
tea.
You can use
ginger
the
plain
ginger
tea.
as well.
When you,
One of my favorites,
Yeah.
is ginger.
Specifically when I go to these down south trips,
Yeah.
I love to stop at like the side tea caddies.
Yeah.
And then the ginger tea they give.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's like
Yes, the side
it's
shops.
so nice. You have to drink it from that shops actually.
Right.
For some reason, that tastes much better
I
than
know. I
certain
love this
five-star hotel
little-
teas.
Yes. The tekade teas are the best.
The best ones. So basically, I mean, it has this Belimal tea, they say.
Yeah.
So even that is a version of tea, right? So
Correct.
eventually,
Correct.
you brew certain plant. But
Yeah.
hang on, tea itself is a vegetable, right?
That's what they say.
So basically, I'm on a diet, so I can have it's like the perfect diet I can have because tea comes from a plant, and
Yes.
then plants I eat or drink.
The green. The
Yeah,
green.
so it's basically a salad,
Yes, a liquid salad.
liquid salad.
So for this
Oh.
tea, you can use passion fruit.
Directly,
Yeah, just add it.
or you put the liquid version of it. That's
you
also
can
fine?
you can add the liquid version of it. I
Okay.
prefer the fresh fruit, but you
Okay.
can add the liquid version of it. So it's black rose tea and the rose flavored extra rose flavored tea.
Okay.
And then you add ample sugar.
Make it syrupy.
Correct. Make it syrupy, and then you can add slices of lime to it.
Okay,
So all this adds flavor and beauty and everything.
right.
So this is very, very nice for when you're having a family gathering.
So basically, ample amount of lime or lemon.
Not a lot, just one lemon is enough for this.
So, I mean, in terms of flavor,
Yeah.
I know sometimes we interchange,
Yeah.
but the lemon and lime's flavor,
Yeah.
which do you prefer in terms of this kind of mocktails and iced teas?
So
What's your
it depends because lime gives you a very sharp flavor
Yeah.
as well. Lemon gives you a very mellow,
Toned down
fruity-
the-
yes.
toned down
it's
the
like
approach.
more. It's citrus floral. Lemon
Yeah.
gives you a citrus floral flavor, whereas lime gives you a very sharp and strong
Flavor, okay.
flavor. So it depends again what you like. So we're gonna add a little.
This reminds me of this detox drinks that I see.
Yes, so it is very good for you as well. So because
Okay.
tea is kind of detoxing,
Yeah.
and then
And these diet things that we use is detox tea, the cucumber, the lime, and the lemon, but this is with tea.
with tea. So there's passion fruit, there's lemon, there's rose flavored tea.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, it's a fancy iced tea. So if you want, you can use the liquid and the
Okay,
juices as
okay.
well, and then make it a mocktail. But this is a iced tea. So just give it a good mix, and you can taste it and then balance the flavors out.
Okay.
So usually people like it very sweet.
Okay.
And then
anything sweet.
anything
It's
sweet is fine.
All right, here we go.
I'm gonna have it with you this time.
All right.
So if you want, you can make it more fancy,
And
how we do it in
restaurants.
and make it more fancy. But this is very, very nice with kids. Kids love this kind of.
Okay.
Kids like this kind of.
Presentations.
No, this kind of
flavor.
iced teas. Yeah. So I'll give you the fancy.
Thank you. Fanciest one. All right. Shall we just?
Yes, sure. Cheers.
Oh my God, that's passion. I'm a passion lover, by the way.
Okay. So you should get a little bit of when you're drinking, when the passion fruit hits you, it's the flavor
doing
is
that
so
actually.
nice. Yeah.
I am surprised how this syrupy thing came in.
Because we're adding a lot of sugar.
Yeah, actually, because I've seen some people add the sugar syrup into it. The syrupy comes from the syrup also.
Correct.
Probably that's how you make it thicker.
Oh,
but the honey.
So you can add honey if you want it very, very thick and lush. But this is more refreshing, very crisp, and very citrusy. There's floral elements to it. There's citrus elements to it.
It is a nice profile. It has this, as you said, the citrusy comes in, and then the pieces. Now I believe why you said that when you put the fruit in it, it adds the drama.
Correct.
It gives an element to it, and I'm sure if you don't have the proper the variety of the tea, I feel that it looks so artificial.
Yes.
Or it feels artificial, but it
is
not
artificial. Yes.
This actually does not.
Exactly. So this has the citrus element to it, floral element to it, fruit kind of element to it.
When I smell the fruit comes first for me, and then it sounds it reminds me of this some rose, not the rose milk, but of course we're using the rose, right? So it's that flavor, the aroma, it's amazing.
It's very, very nice, especially on a hot day. So you can have this at your barbecues, you can have it at a family gathering. This goes well if you're even offering rice and curry. This kind of iced tea goes really well. Yes.
How come?
Because it has that rose flavor, then the fruit flavor.
Foodie.
Yes.
Oh,
so you can offer this before you offer the rice and curry. You can have that iced tea and then go into rice and curry. If you're going for meats, I think more barbecue, those kind of things.
Okay,
and
that pairing. But for barbecues, what's the best?
So anything, beef, chicken, fish, whatever, this
goes with
well.
this.
This goes really well with it. So you can offer it for kids, older people. Anybody would enjoy this kind of thing because unless they don't like rose or passion fruit.
So basically, if you are angry with your husband, or generally it's that happens, right?
Yeah.
When you come home, and then you are welcoming with the tea, right?
Yes.
Your family member, whoever comes with the tea. And then if you're angry, generally there's no tea.
No. There's no tea, and also if you don't like someone, you give a bitter tea.
Bitter tea, basically you don't put the sugar.
Or you give a light tea.
Light tea.
If you want to disrespect someone, you just give a light tea. You don't add tea to it. These are all very Sri Lankan old culture.
You don't brew it thicker. You just give a lighter tea.
You just put a little tea and just give it, and that's disrespect.
Oh.
So there are things that has happened like that. In the olden days, my grandmother used to say, if you don't like someone, people used to just give tea, or they will pour tea and they will serve the tea to everybody, and the person that they don't like, they'll serve last, and they'll tip the pot.
And give that's the sarcastic way.
Then they'll tip the pot of tea, and then it's it's such a disrespect.
I never knew that. Okay.
There's so much that tea has incorporated into our culture and life, and it begins with the whole romance aspect to it where people meet and
Yeah.
like, you know, and after marriage and during marriage and even
Yeah.
after marriage, like, you know, because tea has a very, very big impact in our life. Yeah.
So I mean, even this the recent past, I've seen this chai shops being popping up
Yeah.
almost everywhere.
Yeah.
As opposed to the coffee shop, I think
Yeah.
now I see a lot of the tea shops.
Yes.
And then I feel that that actually speaks more to the mass of the people.
Yeah.
Because probably one is affordability and probably it gets to that the camaraderie, the people networking spot sort of a element. So it's like more than romance. Also at a time it's like friendship, and then it gets into the livelihood of people. It's woven into it. I would say. Amazing.
But tea is also very relatable and approachable than coffee. Personally, I think, because when you travel around Sri Lanka, even in other countries, more than coffee, they have tea. Especially in tea drinking countries, like, you know, they offer tea. So tea is more accepted by norms and cultures.
You're right. Even I've been to Maldives recently. I had this Kashmiri tea.
Okay.
It was, but it was milk tea.
Yeah.
But pink tea.
Right.
So cute, and it was amazing. That the flavor, the aroma, it was amazing. I was surprised by that. The milk tea, but then it's some flavor into it. It's called the Kashmiri tea.
Oh wow! I've never tried it. I should hunt for it.
Yeah, Maldives. That's the only place I've seen that tea. Pink tea.
Because I've tried a Kashmiri tea, but it's not pink.
It's pink.
Oh, okay.
It's entirely pink.
Okay.
So they said it's Kashmiri tea.
Right.
It was amazing.
Oh, wow.
It was so nice.
Okay.
And it had a different profile altogether.
Right.
As if it's like a milk tea. But of course, not the tea. I didn't feel that hint of stronger tea.
Okay.
But it was such a nice romance, I would say. Romance in a cup. For me, that was one of the best teas I've had.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's nice. I mean, I just had a look at this. They have like blackcurrant, cherry, pineapple tea.
Yes, they have
a
lot of flavors. They even have the masala chai, which is very famous with.
Have you tried that?
Yes,
I haven't.
So it's a spice tea.
Yeah, masala chai I've generally tried, but I've not tried Impra
yet. So, but then they've got a really good range. Anyway, tea is you can be adventurous with tea.
I think I'm going to be.
Because coffee is really great. Like, it gives you like that energy and everything. Is very popular like in European countries. So certain European countries like Italy and France, they love their coffees. But coffee, you cannot be adventurous with it. You can add sugar to it, and you can add more sugar to it. But when it comes to tea, you can infuse a lot of things, because tea really.
I think it's a debate that we can have. No? Like, I mean, our viewers, I'm sure they'll be like, no,
exactly.
How dare you say coffee that is like that? I mean, that may be a good dose.
Coffee, you can put spices to it, but not much of floral or fruity elements to it. But whereas tea,
have you tried these things with coffee as well?
I have tried spiced coffee, because
spiced coffee.
I love spiced coffie. Like, we have a coffee called Gawa coffee. That is in Sri Lanka. We always make it for our functions. But in Europe and all, I've not had the spiced coffee.
The chuka coffee, they say.
Yes, chuka coffee is also a spiced coffee.
Yeah, the ginger and everything. That's actually herbal, medicinal, something like that.
Yes, medicinal. But then tea, you can add the fruit and floral elements to it.
So fruits doesn't go well with the coffee range?
You can add like orange coffee is there, then lemon coffee is there. You can
I think we are sparking a debate here, and then I'm sure the viewers will be like, how dare you say the coffee is not like that?
I know, there are like ardent coffee lovers and ardent tea lovers.
I mean, guilty as charged, I'm a coffee lover, and then I understand what they feel right now. But trust me, I mean, you made me fall in love with the tea a little bit. I'm falling in love.
And it's easier for you to offer this to your loved ones. It's a very nice thing to do for your family.
The experiment purposes, I think I'm sure that it's something that's nice to experiment.
Correct. So these are actually like actual, these kind of recipes you can do for your family, your friends, the kids and everything. But you can, of course, experiment with other flavors as well.
Hang on, we forgot one thing. Coffee challenge. Coffee goes well with the chocolates. How about tea?
Tea goes well with chocolate as well.
Really?
Chocolate and tea goes really, really well. So
Okay.
like you can have black tea
Okay.
and flavored chocolates. So
Black tea and flavored chocolate. So
Yes.
for example, I mean, I've seen there's ginger chocolates are there. I mean,
Correct.
does it go well with that?
So you can have plain black tea
Okay.
and ginger and chocolate, the ginger chocolate.
Without sugar, you mean to
Yes.
say? Oh.
No, but you can have sugar tea if
Yeah.
you want. You can have black tea
Okay.
and ginger chocolate or orange chocolate, like, you know.
So yeah, because I
it
mean
goes
sometimes
well.
I'm a sweet person again, so I take the cake,
Yeah.
eat the cake and drink
Sweet tea as
and
well.
then there's no sweet in it. That balances it out.
Correct.
So here, that's the trick
Yeah.
is not to put sugar, but to have the chocolates or sweet
Yes,
stuff.
otherwise you will be only having sugar and not really enjoying anything.
Got it.
This is personally for me, I like to have like a normal black tea, then have something sweet.
You know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it today. The chocolatey tea.
Yes, chocolate, ginger chocolate or orange chocolate with normal black tea, or you can have milk tea with chocolate, milk chocolate, or a coffee chocolate with milk tea. That I know it sounds really odd, but if you have milk tea and a coffee chocolate or a coffee cake slice, it's really nice.
Let's bring it on. Thank you so much, Ruzaina. I mean, I had a blast and something
Thank you.
something well thought, I believe, in this lovely presentation in terms of a simple presentations.
Yeah.
But it makes the chat as well as the friendships and the romance
Yeah.
much more colorful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shiv. Thank you for having me.
And stay tuned for more lovely episodes. Small Talk by Impra Tea.